True. I love it. Alrighty, I just hit record that way.
Yay!
Vital
Awesome.
information. But it's true. So I see, hey, Chelsea, but I just talked about this in my Coach Basics call too, and I'm just going to constantly talk about it because the business is like a TV program. It is completely like a TV program because you know what? Even for someone like me who rarely watches TV, if I see a commercial talking about the season premiere of a certain show that plays like every commercial that's on in between a show, I'm all of a sudden going to, after a few days, a few weeks, I'm like, what the heck is this show? I keep seeing previews. I think I have to watch it. And that's how the business goes. And that's how our challenge groups go. So that's why it's like, don't think of it in such a scarcity mindset where, well, I posted about a challenge group 3 days ago. Oh, I posted about it twice in the last 2 weeks and nobody wanted to join. No, they're not going to want to join because they're not seeing it every time they go to your page, like every post. So that's my little tip for you guys who are on and listening. I think that we all need to hear it. I'm 3.5 years in as a coach, and sometimes not that I forget, but I just get busy and I do different things. I'm like, man, why am I not moving? Why am I not hitting my goals faster? That's why.
Yeah. That's what I did tonight. I was like, oh, I want to recruit. Maybe I should post about recruiting and the fact that I am recruiting and I want people on my team. So I'm going to do that. Oh, and I have to show you all really quick.
Jen, your 5-star jacket. I love it.
I've never taken off.
Awesome. And where's your reinforced?
Someone commented, they're like, where's 1 and 2? I'm like, let's not get crazy. Okay, I'm already hot in all of this outfit. Okay, so what I'm going to talk to you guys. Are you ready for me to start?
Hold on, let me intro because people are recording. All right, guys. So instead of me and cool, you're just super excited. Instead of me doing our calls like I always do, and I'm always live in the groups, and you're always hearing me talking to you, I thought about doing a different spin for our calls for these groups, and I'm going to have a guest speaker on for you guys each week. Of course, I'll be moving our call from next Thursday since it's Thanksgiving, unless if y'all want to hang out with me on Thanksgiving night eating some turkey. I'm totally cool with that too. But every week I'm going to have a guest speaker just kind of to just give their tips, tips on how to really grow your business to diamond and why it's important, what it entails for you, and how easy it can be when you get in the right mindset. So tonight we've got Jen Guthrie up, and I'm really excited for her to share her story with you guys. So Jen, you're up.
Yay! Oh my gosh, I love talking on calls. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I cleaned up my desktop for you guys because it was so embarrassing. All right, so let me do this. I actually did a call very similar to this one for Melanie last week. And so the reason it's titled Recruiting as a Brand New Coach is because we always need to be in the mindset of recruiting as a brand new coach. Because one thing, this is what you guys who are on here, I'll say it again for the people listening on the recording. The reason why is because as you grow in this business, you start to forget those basic little simple things that you learned on day one that work. It's the system that works. So everything we're talking about tonight is go back to when you were first a brand new coach, learning about challenge groups, still unsure of yourself, still not sure how to do this. And that's the mindset I want you to have as we work through this call tonight. So one thing we're going to talk about is recruiting fast. Recruiting fast. Maybe you have a goal. Maybe your goal is to have diamond by December. Maybe your goal is to have it by the end of November. You can absolutely do that. You 100% can. So I'm going to give you my tips there. Recruiting confidently, which is what I believe is the number one secret to recruiting in any shape or form, whether it's for challengers, challenge groups, coaching, free events, whatever. If you're not confident about it, it's really hard. We're going to talk about how to post about coaching and what this means for your rank. So this picture over here is actually my very first 21-day fix post that I did as a brand new coach. I'm showing this because a lot of new coaches or coaches who are working towards diamond, they're like, oh, well, I just struggle with posts. Well, look at that one because we all have been there and we have all struggled. Like, first of all, that's all of my pictures from like the first 7 months are horribly blurry and I'm still successful. So go back, you can look, work through the kinks, figure your business out, figure out where you are, what you can improve on, because one day, a year from now, you're going to be hosting one of these calls and you're going to be like, wow, look at this post I did. So you have to understand that No one starts off recruiting better than you do. It doesn't work like that. We all start in this same exact place. But here's the thing about this post. I documented that entire journey and was completely consistent, and that's why I have the success now that I have. It all started with this first little bit. So next, recruiting fast. So a common things that I hear, I can't because I'm new, or I don't want people to think I'm MLM or scamming them or trying to join my team, because we know, you guys probably get them at least twice a day. Hey girl, I'm looking for 5 people to make a $500 bonus with It Works Wraps. I'm like, well, you didn't look at my profile, or you would know that I don't believe in that. Or, hey girl, I've almost met my $500 goal for RNF. Like, would you buy these lashes from me? Don't need them, sweetness. So we don't want to be caught up in that style of recruiting, and I get that. And the last thing, I don't know who I want to attract. I see coaches, new and old, spend so much freaking time on trying to figure out who they want to attract and all this stuff, all this jazz. It distracts so much from the core belief of just recruit somebody. Like, they spend so much time, and Val can attest to this, and I'm guilty of, oh, I need to, have all of this person and only attract them. No, because you never know who wants to coach. A coach actually signed up with Val this last week that I've known for like 10 years that I have never approached, because I wrote her off. And years ago, when I even thought about Messenger, I was like, no, she'll never do it. And I've never reached out to her. And not that she would have signed up with me or anything anyways, but I'm just going to show you that I wrote her off, had never reconsidered her, and I thought it wasn't for her. Well, I was wrong, and it was for her, okay? And someone else saw that in her and went for it, as they should have. So you have to think, when you're writing people off, no matter what the reason is, you're doing yourself a disservice. And that was a great lesson to learn. I'm actually glad, because now I get to share it with you. So if you look at someone and you think, no, they won't make a good coach, wrong, because they might, all right? So here's the thing. On the side over here, we have, they'll believe what you believe. So if you think you can't recruit because maybe you're a newer coach, or maybe you're a newer Emerald coach, if you put that vibe out there, that's exactly what people are going to believe about you. But if you put the vibe out there that Emerald is the best freaking thing in the world, and you're like racing to the top of the company, that's what they're going to believe too. I act all the time like I'm the number one coach ever, and I'm not. But they don't know that, guys. The only people who know that are Beachbody people. When I became a premier coach, which is a good thing and it's something to be proud of, but it's definitely not, the top tip top of the company. But I acted like I was the only person walking across the stage that night, okay? You have to put out there what you want people to believe about you. And here's the next thing. You are in a multi-level marketing company, and that's okay, because we're different than the other ones. But I like to say that because I think people get bogged down by, I don't want to offend people, I don't want to scare people, you're not. So just delete that from your mind. And then here's the thing. Make a list of your top 5 best qualities as a coach, because this is going to help you with the whole, I don't know who I want to attract piece. All right, next slide. All right, so recruiting fast. All right, about that list that I just mentioned, these are the qualities that you want. So you have to be that on social media. For example, me, I'm a teacher. I am a dog lover. I like really girly things like nails, hair, coffee, lipstick, those types of things. And I have branded myself as someone who adores pizza, because it's true. Those 5 things, if you follow me on Facebook, you're like, yep, that's what people would know about me that don't even know me. They would say, oh yeah, I know that chick. She has a bunch of dogs and eats pizza and talks about it all the time, because it's true. So you have to make that list, and it can vary. Like, I'm not saying only forever post those 5 things, but that's your brand. That is what's going to make you, you. Well, guess what my team is made of? Teachers. Most of them are in their 20-somethings. Most of them are not married yet, even though I am, but most of them, I have some newer moms. But I'm attracting people that are like in my same season of life. We're very close to the same season. We're in the same profession. We like the same things. All of my coaches, every single one, have dogs that they post about on social media. And it's just those little things. So you want to recruit yourself. So post the things about yourself, and that's who you're ultimately going to attract. Look at Val. She attracted me, and I can tell you why. She had muscles. I wanted muscles. She was girly like I am. Like, she posts about her hair and her nails and her makeup. I love those things. She would post about her dogs. I love dogs. Those are the things that drew me to her, because they were things that I could relate to, and they were similar. So don't overthink that part. And this is where I think we get caught up in, branding myself and always making these lists. Nope, make your one list and stick to it for your entire coaching business. That's all you have to do. Like I can tell you Val's faith, fashion, food, fitness, and fun. Like I know she's talked about that before. She sticks to that. And that's why she attracts the same people over and over, because that's what we're attracted to. All right, so let's move over. Well, you guys can see it. I have to move my little thing. So a good post for starting to talk about coaching. OMG, one of my challengers just told me she lost 5 pounds since last week. This is why I love being a coach. It's an awesome job when you get to hit your own goals while helping others reach theirs. Okay, that's just something that I would casually say throughout a time that I'm working to recruit coaches. Because if I'm messaging someone, okay, and they see that post, they're like, okay, well, I know part of being a coach is helping people reach their fitness goals. I know that because she just told me in her post. So it's just like those little simple things and thinking about how you can talk about coaching in a newer way. Because I know for me, when I first started and when I was really working to recruit, I couldn't say, oh, I'm debt free after 3 months of being a coach, because you're not. But the thing is, saying something like, because of coaching, my husband and I got an extra dinner date this week. That is something people can relate to. And that's a big deal, because how many times have you had to turn down something extra because you didn't have the extra income? So it's all about being relatable to people where they are. All right. Next slide. Recruiting confidently. So this is my favorite topic of all time, because here's the thing. I am not like a super confident person. Now, there are a few places I am. In my classroom, I'm super confident. And in coaching, I have become super confident. But at first, I hid behind my Shakeology cup. I took pictures that were blurry. I didn't want people to see. I sure as hell was not, sorry if there's kids around, didn't think about that. Sure as heck wasn't going to post a picture of a sports bra or anything like that. So, I wasn't confident. But you don't need all that to fake it like you're confident, okay? Because then when I started acting like I was confident, I started to become confident. I'm sure this was so fun for Val to watch too, as friends, because I went from this really shy, person to walking in a room like, I own this place, all right? And it carried over into other parts of my life. So it's all about that mindset and telling yourself, like, I'm a BA, you-know-what, when I sit down at this computer, and putting off that vibe to other people. So here's some ways you can be confident with recruiting. Talk about coaching on social media at least once a day. In some way, shape, or form, the word coach needs to be in your post. And challenge yourself. So you're already posting 3 times a day. It's not so hard to add in coaching to one of those things. You can even do something like, okay, so I rescue dogs. I'm so thankful that coaching provides the income to provide the food for my dogs so that I can continue to rescue them. It can be like little tiny things. Or I love that coaching allows me to create new recipes for my challengers. I love coaching because make a list. Make a list of like 25 things that you like about coaching. I love that I became friends with Val through coaching. I love that I get to send gifts to my coaches, or that my coach sent me a gift. Make that list, because if you're talking about it, if you're not talking about it, nobody knows what you do as a coach. They don't know. They don't read your mind. They might know you are a coach, but they don't know what it means. So if you've heard of the book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, this is my little saying: jab, 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 and jab some more. You constantly have to be jabbing that coaching opportunity, because think about your social media. Your post is not in everybody's newsfeed. They're not all seeing it. Maybe who liked it saw it, and maybe if you scrolled past it. But like that content one time, they might see it one time, and that's it. So continuously putting it out there and jabbing and jabbing and jabbing, so you're getting the word out there. Maybe they scrolled past you on their lunch break and didn't even stop to read it. You have to think about all of the people that are looking at you and how you're going to reach them consistently all the time. Make them want to join your team. You have to make coaching, even when you're newer and you're like maybe not so sure all of the benefits of coaching, you have to make them believe that coaching is the best freaking thing in the whole wide world. And then they're going to believe it. And it's not scamming people, because coaching is the best thing in the world. You're just still learning how to do it. And that's okay. All right. So if we look over here, keep saying that. I'm moving something on my own screen. I know you guys can see it. This is a great post. And I did this when I first became a coach. It's been 1 week since I became a coach, and I already have room in the budget for an extra date night. Like, is this for real? Because I made like $50. That was a big freaking deal back then. I was like, I made $50 this week. Okay. And I'm not going to tell you what I make now because I don't want to do that. But I'm telling you, it's a heck of a lot more than $50. And I do a lot more than, I call Val and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this real life? Like, this did not just happen. And I get weird about the money talk, but I'm telling you, when you start by talking about the little financial victories, it feels really good when you get to the point when you can talk about the big financial victories. But you have to know you got to start somewhere. And how many people would love an extra date night? How many people would love a little extra money for Christmas? How many people would love, to go get sushi on Saturdays? That's actually something Jamie and I do now that we have it in our budget. We get sushi on Saturday. We go to the place and they know our names and we get it for takeout and we eat it on the couch. It's what we do every Saturday. And that's not something that we would do if it weren't for coaching. And it's so tiny. That's such a tiny thing, but it's such a big victory in our personal life and we love to do it. So you have to talk about those little tiny victories. And that's going to make people stop and look at your page and say, what is she doing? Because I would love to go to sushi Saturday, but that's not in my budget to do that. But it can be if you become a coach. All right. Here we go. All right. This slide always catches me off guard. All right. How to post about coaching. So your posts about coaching do not always have to be like these glamour shots and like join my team and all of that. They can sometimes. I'm not saying eliminate that, but I'm saying think of ways that you're going to relate to people and what's going to make them stop. So I think what happened with this post is people probably scrolled through their newsfeed, saw a ridiculous picture and stopped. But if you read my post, I'm talking about coaching. I said, the number one question I get as a coach is, how do you take such great selfies? I take a billion ones that look like this first, okay? So without even realizing it, I just connected with how many people liked it. I can't tell. It was like 80-something about coaching. And they don't even realize that I did that either. But now I have 86 people to message and say, hey, I saw that you liked my post about coaching. Were you interested in hearing more about it? Boom. It can be that simple. All right. So your list. I really do have a list of 25 things that I pull from. And some of them are little and some of them are big. And I constantly use that list to create my posts. So when I'm having a rush day, because I do work full time, like today, I did not even get home until 5:45. And I have not touched my business today because I had a kindergarten show at school all day long and I didn't have my normal schedule. Have not worked my business at all until about 30 minutes before this call. I'm doing just fine. All right. And it's okay. But that list is great for those days where you're like, oh, I don't know what to post. Let me look at my list, see what I love about coaching. Pick one, take a selfie, boom, post it, done. That list is so important. And I'm going to keep referring back to it because it has literally carried me through this whole entire year. All right. You act like a top coach, they're going to believe you're a top coach. You act like you don't know what you're doing, they're going to feel like you don't know what you're doing. Decide what you want to be instead of like wishing what you were and just become it. Decide what kind of coach you would want, decide what you're going to be and just become it. Just decide I'm going to be the coach that does XYZ and you just do it. I know that sounds simple and people think there's some kind of like task behind it or some kind of science or secret formula. And Jen, how'd you get to 5? I just did it. I just sat down and I was like, this is point A, this is point B. Here's what I'm going to do to get there. All right. And think of your ways to sneak the word coach into 1 or 2 posts a day. All right. All right. So let's talk about rank, diamond rank. So this is actually a picture of my team over here that are have been, they're not all currently diamond coaches. And actually, I'll be real with you guys. One of them down here, Marie, who is still my sweet friend, she is actually no longer a coach anymore. But do you know what she did? Because she knows how important rank is to a team. She actually did not move on from coaching until she knew that I was going to be able to catch up with my rank. Because when you commit to a rank, you're committing something to your upline coach. And that sounds so hard for people to understand sometimes, but whether it's emerald, diamond, star diamond, when you tell your coach, I'm committed to hitting this rank, they're going to expect you to stay committed to that. If your goal has changed, it's so important that you communicate that with your coach, because all of these ladies over here, I treat them like they want to be diamonds or star diamonds because that's what they told me. How can I know that that's changed if they never tell me? I'm going to continue to treat them like that. Here's the other thing with your team. When you're talking and recruiting your new Emerald coaches, explain to them what Emerald is. Explain to them what it means for your team to be a diamond team. Explain to them what that means for Val's team and what that means for everyone that's a part of it. Okay. So I put my team up here because I would not be a 5-star diamond without these coaches. I wouldn't. My business would not exist without these coaches over here. So, a lot of people spend a lot of time thinking about their own rank, but you have to think about how it affects your upline coach and upline above that and everyone else. So just keep in mind when you're committing to something, you do it. And if you've changed, you gotta talk to your coach about it. So your diamond rank is actually the best way to turn heads in your business. When you can go on there and be like, I'm a diamond coach, blah, 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 it makes you look good. And I'm telling you, people will come to you when you get that announcement as a diamond coach on social media, because they're like, hey, this chick knows what she's doing because she's a diamond coach in this company. They don't know what it means, but you acted confident about it and you got a shout out and everyone's looking at you in that very moment. That is the best way to start the recruiting train in your business. And you're contributing to your team's rank. So I want to tell you a little bit about how I became diamond, and Val can validate because she's my upline coach. I signed up as a coach in November 2014. Okay. I hit Success Club 5 my first month. And then in December, towards the end, I hit 10 of my second month because I came in a good time. It was New Year's. People wanted to hit goals. Still didn't know what I was doing. January had a successful month. And I became a diamond coach in February of 2015. February. Now, here's the thing. I have never dropped my diamond rank. And Val can tell you that's for real. Ever, not once. And here's why. Because my first emerald was my dad. And in January, when I signed up 1 billion people who wanted to reach their New Year's goal, I made my dad an emerald coach by signing up 2 discount coaches underneath him. Does that make sense? So I just used my dad's email and made him an emerald. Then my other one, which I could kick myself for, they always say sign up your spouse when you become a coach. Well, I laughed at that and did not do it. And when I tell you I lose out on so much money these days because Jamie is not in the top of my downline. If you have not signed up your spouse as a coach in your downline, you've got to do it. And trust me, because I did not. So I know where you are. I know you're thinking, what's the point in spending more money to sign up my spouse? What's the point in this? I probably miss out on like $500 a week because Jamie's not in the top of my downline because I did not listen. Okay. It is my own fault. But at least now I have that story to tell you that if that's your thought process, you got to fix it. Get your spouse signed up, because here's the thing. This is where it gets great. Jamie is how I got to diamond. Okay. My dad is how I got to diamond. He was one of my emeralds. Then I had Jamie's account and I built it to diamond. And that's how I got 2-star premier coach last year, because I had control of someone else on my team. You control the controllable. When you have your spouse's or someone else's account, you control it. And that's an awesome, awesome feeling to know that you control it. And guess what? Now that I've had a diamond coach decide that coaching's not for her, guess who's going to be my next diamond? Jamie. Again, I have control. I've made a goal to be elite this year. I'm not letting that go. And I'm not going to sit here and be defeated that one of my diamond coaches, am I sad? Yes, but it wasn't for her. You meet people where they are instead of throwing a fit and a pity party and, oh my gosh, woe is me. No, I have absolute control because my husband's account is signed up and he's halfway to diamond already. So he can get there if I need it, if I even need it. And that's the attitude you have to have about this business. Do what you have to do to get from point A to point B in the time frame you said you wanted to do it. So the reason I talk about this diamond story is I didn't even know what diamond was in February. And I remember I was super excited because Val was like, wow, you went diamond super fast. And I was like, yay, don't even know what it means, but great. Sounds good. I'm pumped. You're pumped. I'm happy that you're happy. Let's move forward. And then I started to learn what it meant. So I don't know if you guys know this, but as a diamond coach, you can actually have a cycle bonus max out at $1,000 a week. And I don't know if you know this or not, but we're in a pretty good downline. And I can guarantee that you're in a better spot in the downline of Val Bazo than I am. And I will never complain about it. And she knows this. So I guarantee that cycle bonus as a diamond coach won't take you long to achieve. It won't. Follow what she's doing, because I will tell you, people say all the time, I'm on Val's weak leg, wah, wah, wah. Well, I'm on the inside weak leg, like of her dead leg on her husband, okay? Like I make nothing. I make no money in cycle bonus pretty much off of Val's team. I only make it off of my own downline, and I don't complain. So all of you listening to this call, I swear you're in a better spot. Look, she's laughing. Aren't they all in a better spot? So if I can make a cycle bonus like that as a diamond coach, you absolutely can, okay? Because you're in a good spot. So leave it like that. And I have to say it just because I hear it all the time, like, oh, I'm not in a good spot. Be quiet. You're fine. I promise. If I can get this far, you can get this far. And then rank is your commitment to a team. So that's another reason I have their pictures over there. That is my team. And without them, I'm nothing. And without their commitment to me and my commitment in return to them, we don't need each other. What would be the whole point? There wouldn't be a point, all right? And it comes down to communication. Do what you say you're going to do, or let them know that you're not going to do what you said you were going to do. Like, that's the bottom line. I see so many coaches, they come in, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be, Emerald by next week. And then here we are 6 months later, still haven't done a single assignment in Coach Basics, and they don't ever communicate it. So that's an important piece of the puzzle. All right, and so my secret. I love this quote. It says, a follower is just waiting for their turn to walk. How freaking lame is that? A follower is just waiting for their turn to walk? That makes me think of like okay, this is what my dad says. When we go to Disney World or even Sam's Club, and I swear this is an experiment you've got to do. I really need to do a live video on this now that I'm like all heated about it. My dad has this theory, and if you knew my dad, you would laugh because he's so serious, and he calls it the herd mentality. And he has been talking about this, Jamie's laughing, like since I was a kid. And it cracks us up every time because it's so freaking true. So we're at Disney World and we walk in and there's like, it's just open and there's like this long line of people waiting to go in. Well, then right freaking next to him, there's one with like 2 people in it and nobody's getting in that line because they're all waiting on their turn to walk. Go to the grocery store. How many times do you see this long line in lane 1 and nobody's in lane 2? Because nobody's looking for a chance to be a leader. They're just following, waiting for their turn to walk. Don't be the person just waiting, doing nothing. Be proactive and go find the empty register so you can get your ass out of the store faster. Why wouldn't you do that? It makes no sense to me. So these are things that move you from point A to point B. So number 1, my secret, do what you need to do to get where you want to be. I came into the business and I wanted to, I started talking really fast. I'm really working on that. I get excited. I came into the business wanting a business, okay? I wanted my husband to stay home while he went to grad school. Like, I did not want him to go to night school or summer school or work full time because let's be honest, marriage is already hard. Like, what's the point if you never see each other? Wasn't cool with it. Val told me she thought I could do it, so I did it. Did it rather quickly. I also said that I wanted the chance to stay home with my future kids if that's ever an option. And guess what? Now, if I got pregnant right now, I'd be like, bye job. Okay, I could do that. That to me is freedom. I still teach. People say, well, if you're so good at coaching, why do you still teach? Because I just feel like it, because I just can, because I don't have kids, because I can go to work, come home, do my business, and it's done. Okay, that to me is freedom, and it's worth working for. That's where I wanted to be. So Val will tell you, I have done everything she has told me to do in this business to get where I wanted to be. Here's the thing. Isn't she where she wanted to be? Yup. Dustin's retired. She's living her dream life. That's what she wanted to do. She's not a fool. Listen to what she's telling you to do. She knows what she's doing. And I think that's the number one thing. People come in and we're like, okay, do A, B, and C. Oh, I don't want to do that. Well, then bye. Then bye, because this is how you're successful. All right? So that's what you have to do. Number 2, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't sit there and say, well, the time I'm just kind of busy. And, well, we're all busy. Sorry, move on. Don't wait for it. If you want it, go get it. Number 3, don't wish for it. I say all the time, I wish, and Val knows, I wish that I could just find another coach who really wants to work the business. Okay, well, I can sit here wishing for it, or I can get on there and go find them and make it happen and look for them, okay? No aha moments. Oh, that's a great idea. No, put it into action. Now, that's a great idea. What are you going to do to implement it in your daily life? That's what you have to do. You have to use your resources. Val is your resource. All of the coaches ever are your resources, and lead by example. And I'll finish up with, again, a follower is just waiting for their turn to walk. I'm guessing, I haven't really, I'm not really a part of this group. I took over for Val while she was gone, but I'm guessing that there's probably more than 10 people, right? Okay, well, there's 2 of you on this call live. So gut check. I know that some of you listening to this recording, shout out to you too for pulling up the recording and freaking doing something about it when you couldn't be on live. But so many people will get on here. They won't get on this recording. They won't even hear that I've said this. You'll hear, they'll listen to the recording, And you guys who are on live, you'll hear this, but they won't. And they're going to go to Val or they're going to go to their upline coach and say, well, I just am not good at this and I'm not successful. And you know what? Because they didn't use their resources. Because here it is, laid out on a freaking yellow brick road to the dream life that you want. All you got to do is follow it. So that is all I have. My call to action for you guys is make your list of 25 things that you're going to post about with coaching and you're going to continuously pull from and add from, and don't ever throw it away. Keep that list. It is like bread and butter when you really need to think about what coaching means to you. And make that list of 5 qualities. And I know you've done this in the group, and start thinking about people that meet those 5 qualities. My last call to action for you is go find people who have liked one of your posts that have the word coach in it. Send them this exact message. Hey, I saw that you liked my post about coaching. Thank you so much for the support. Would love to talk to you about joining my team if you're interested. Put it on them. And you know what? The worst they can do is not write you back. Oh, well, they'll come back in a year. I promise. I promise they come back. All right. So I can stop my screen share now. Does anyone? How do I do it? Hold on. Oh, there it is. Does anyone have any questions?
Jen, I love you. You did awesome.
Oh, I love you too, friend.
That is true. Any questions, Gina or Kelsey? You
I know I'm like preaching to the choir with Gina and Kelsey too, but I was like,
no, girl, like I need it. I'm literally just getting home from my day in DC, and you just make it sound so simple and reasonable, and I like need that right now with my job. And I'm just like, okay, like you make me feel like I can do this.
yay. Yeah, you can. You just, and that's the attitude. Like when you walk in the door, be like, you know what? I can do this. And you just sit down and you just do it. And guys, listen, there are days where I kick and scream and cry and throw a fit because I'm tired and I already worked today and now I'm working again. But you know what? It's so worth it. Just push through that part because we've all been at that part. We've all had days, like I'm sure Val did early on, where you're like, is this worth it? Is the time and effort worth? Yes, freaking absolutely it is. Because like I have coaches who have literally messaged me and they're like, man, I wish I would have stuck it out because I see where you are now and like where I would have been. Too bad I quit. Yeah, too bad you quit. Well,
it's true.
You know?
And it's just like not overthinking. So it's totally just not overthinking. And yeah, even now, like I'll call myself out. I sat down. I knew that I started my calls back up at 5:30. So 5:30 to 8, I knew. But man, I sat down at 4:30 after my husband took the kids to soccer. First time I sat down other than in the car today or this morning. And I was like, so tired. I just want to like take a nap. So I'm like, nope, go drink some Energize. Like no pity party. It's just, I love being on here with you guys. Like I absolutely adore my team, and I love that all 3 of you on here are my personally sponsored, and let me just tell you, like your rank matters. Right now, we are elite qualifying, but I need to make sure that everyone who is committed to Diamond and telling me that they want to be Diamond have to be Diamond by around December 15th. Like have to be in order for our team to be elite 3 times in a row, like 3 years in a row. And I'm like, I will never pressure, Jen can vouch, I will never pressure a coach into going and hitting a rank if that is not on their agenda. But, you know, everybody here, you're like, Diamond matters to me. I want to grow into a Diamond. Okay, I'm meeting you where you're at. Let's do this. Because I can tell you 100,000% it is so dang worth it. And it is. It's that controlling one of your accounts. My mom, my dad, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my father-in-law, and my husband are all coaches on my team. Now, that doesn't mean that I keep them all active at the same time. It does not right now. Dustin and my mom are the only 2 people that I keep going. But they're there for, in Jen's case, when someone quits. When a coach quits, then I can say, okay, I need to hit Success Club quickly. And then as soon as I hit Success Club, 2 more people are going to go into my mom's account. And Kelsey, if you're a little confused about that, I can totally help you. Like I was confused before I first started doing it. So basically, you know how you send someone your coach information with your coach ID sign up, you would just put like, if it was your husband, you would just give them your husband's ID to sign up under. And all that you say is, hey, I'm signing you up under my husband. I'm still your coach. It's just a place in my downline. And they're like, okay.
They don't even ask. Like, I don't even tell them. They're like, hey, it said someone named Jamie's my coach. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
It's good. It's cool. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how we all do it. And then you know what? You get to that rank, and Jen is one. She has never dropped from her diamond rank. She just took the importance. She saw the value, and she's like, I have my goal. I'm not going to overthink. I'm just going to go. Sometimes it happened to me one time where I didn't have a direct upline who worked. So Melanie Mitro is now my upline, but I didn't sign up under her. My coach who I signed up under became a discount coach like as soon as I signed up. So I literally, Kelsey, if you don't know this about me, like I literally built my business on my own by using the back office, and all of my scripts, all of my guides, everything is just stuff that I figured out on my own and put into a script and document for you guys to use. You're welcome. So I didn't have anyone saying, hey, Val, okay, you went diamond now. Make sure you're watching for your inactives because you have to keep recruiting. I thought, okay, cool, I'm diamond. I don't need to recruit this month. I'm good. And I dropped my rank one time, and then I was like, oh my God, I hated seeing that I went from diamond back to emerald, and I was like, I have to figure this out. So that was the only reason, because I didn't have an upline, basically. I mean, kind of babysitting me at that point because I'm watching your downline. Like yesterday. What did I say? I was like, hey, Kels, okay, you're awesome. Switch your placement to your right leg.
Yeah.
Almost there. Like, I'm helping you. So I didn't have that. You're welcome. So it's just like, I'm here because I know how exciting it is, and I never want like a little mistake. You know, all my coaches, I'm like, dude, like, no, unless if your goals change, unless if you change and you don't want that, and then you communicate with me, that's the only way that I'm going to know to back off. But man, I know your goals. I know what you want. We're taking it to the next level, and I'm excited. And Gina, I know your plan, and I know you're moving forward. You signed up a couple coaches last week. I saw that in the back office when I was gone. Kicking butt. That's awesome. Like, you guys are just doing great. I'm proud of you. And you're on the call. You're on the call. Like, that shows me you're here. So proud of you.
And like the last thing, so when Val's like, don't overthink it, like keep it simple. Like, this is about to make me sound so dumb, but like, I'm not even capable of overthinking. Like, I'm like, she said, click A. Like, it can be, but it makes it easy. It really does. Like, I have my moments, but when it comes to those things, like, just do what your upline says. If you don't know what it means, you'll learn it later. You're like a robot.
That's what
It is. And as you just keep running your challenge groups and, you know, successful challenge groups, you're attracting, and Jen just nailed it tonight with the attracting. It's not thinking, will I be able to recruit somebody who wants to work? What if I don't? Don't even let that thought come in your mind. As long as you're doing the process, it's literally a process, and you're already doing it. It just happens naturally when you're putting it out there. You know, they're attracted to you for your challenge groups, and they're attracted to you now when you're like, wait, what? Now you just have to incorporate all those coaching posts. I did the same thing. It was like, oh my gosh, Dustin and I got to go on a date night. We have not been on a date night in like 6 months. It was never in the budget. And, you know, it was like Five Guys burgers and fries, but that was good for us. Extra $25. Like, I like it.
It's true. Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks for hopping on. I know you had a long night, and I do so appreciate you, Jen. And I know you have worked your own business, and you're hopping on the call, and I do. I appreciate all of you. You rock. We are blessed with a great team. Awesome. Anybody, anything else?
Yay!
Hopping on. I know you're busy. You're a teacher. And Gina, you just got home. Thanks, guys. I do. I appreciate your time.
Love you, friends.
Love you all. And
Bye.
oh, Kelsey will be here. Are you coming December 3rd, Gina? I'm going to put out for the team. It's a team thing I'm going to do at my house. But, I mean, I love you. You're welcome to come. We're just going to do, like, dinner here. On
Aw, I want to come. Listen, I get so sad being away from everyone. Like, I hate it.
Come on. You can do it. I know.
No, I wish.
I know. Kelsey lives, what, like 3-4 hours away, I think. She lives in North Mississippi.
Yep.
Cool. All right, ladies.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you for doing this.
Sure, Gina. Absolutely. All right, I will be posted in our group tomorrow. You know me, on the ball. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for getting on, and I will see you later.
All right.
Bye.